Have you ever been asked to do something and you didn't know how to do it?
How did that make you feel?
Was there someone who encouraged you?
You are capable of so much more than you think you are.
It's your spot. Own it.
Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Kitchen. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Louisa May Alcott Elementary School, and today I would like to read a story. The name of the story is The Dot. The Dot was written and illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds. While you're listening today, I want you to pay very close attention to who the character is, what the problem is, and how did the problem get fixed. Let's listen. The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. There. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. "Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name." The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that. She opened up her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted a red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow. She discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's mini dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook. as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Please sign it." That was a great story. I hope you were being very good listeners, because now we're going to take that information I told you I wanted you to listen for, and we're going to use it as we're creating a summary. A summary is just giving the most important parts of the story. You won't give every detail. You'll just give those things that are important, like the character, the problem, how was the problem solved, and the end of the story. I have a new strategy we're going to try today. Let's get started. When we're giving our summary today, we're going to use a different strategy. It's called the somebody wanted, but, so, then strategy. This strategy is very good at helping to guide your thinking while you're giving a summary. Let's try it out. Now, first, we're going to think about the somebody. When we think about this part, we're thinking about the main character. Who was the character in this story, the dot? Yes, it was Vashti. Vashti is the main character in the story. Now, what did Vashti want most of all? She wanted to draw. Vashti wanted to draw. But there was a problem. Here is where we talk about the problem. But she didn't think she could. Vashti wanted to draw, but she didn't think she could. So, how did the problem get fixed? Do you remember? Yes, so her teacher told her to just make a mark. Vashti wanted to draw, but she didn't think she could, so her teacher told her to just make a mark. Then, how did the story end? You're right. Then she started painting all kinds of dots. Vashti wanted to draw, but she didn't think she could, so her teacher told her to just make a mark. Then she started painting all kinds of dots. What a great summary. Now let's review what we just did. Do you remember the somebody? Who was the main character in the story, the dot? Yes, Vashti. What did she want? Vashti wanted to draw. But there was a problem. But she didn't think she could. So, how did the problem get fixed? So her teacher told her to just make a mark. You're right. Then, how did the story end? Then she started painting all kinds of dots. You did an amazing job today helping me with my summary. I had a wonderful time creating a summary with you today. Now, let's find out what Mrs. Burdette has planned.
Thank you, Mrs. Kitchen, for sharing the story, The Dot, with us today. My name is Mrs. Burdette, and I'm the pre-K teacher at Douglas MacArthur Girls Leadership Academy. Have you been practicing your letters this summer? If I laid a bunch of names on my table, would you be able to find your name? Can you tell me what letters are in your name? If the letters were out of order, would you be able to put them back in order? And finally, can you write the letters in your name? Often, when we are learning how to write our letters, A dot shows us where to start. Let's learn more about letters. When I'm in my classroom with my students, I like to do alphabet exercises. Do you ever do alphabet exercises? Learning the alphabet exercises our brain. Are you ready to exercise with me? Let's get on our exercise clothes and reach our toes. All right, are you ready to do some alphabet exercises with me? I'm gonna call this some alphabet weightlifting. You might want to grab some weights. If you don't have any weights, you can use some water bottles, or you can just hold your hands like you are holding some weights in your hands. All right, are you ready to go? We're going to say the name of a letter, the sound the letter makes. We're gonna squat down, and then we're gonna push up and say the name of the picture that goes with the letter. Let's try it. A, apple. B, boots. C, car. D, ducks. E, elephant. F, fish. G, guitar. H, house. I, igloo. J, jacket. K, kite. L, lizard. M, mouse. N, net. O, octopus. P, penguin. Q, queen. R, rainbow. S, snowman. T, turtle. U, umbrella. V, van. W, whale. X, X-ray. Y, yarn. Z, zebra. Will you sing the alphabet song with me now? We're going to do it a little bit differently. When we say a letter name, we're either going to give it a clap or a lap. Let's try it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Thank you for singing the alphabet with me. Now won't you learn to write them with me? All right, we're going to learn how to make some letters now. For this activity, can you please see if you have any empty cereal boxes or maybe an extra empty pizza box? And ask your mom or dad to help you find a ruler and some scissors to help you cut, as well as a marker or a pencil.
You will need to use your ruler to draw 4 straight lines. You will line up your ruler and just trace with your marker or your pencil, top to bottom. When you're done tracing your lines, you will then get your scissors. Your thumb goes in the circle, your 3 or 4 fingers go in the oval, and remember to always point the point of the scissors away from your belly. And cut, 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 snip, snip, snip. And you have 4 long lines. Next, you will take a paper half that size and cut 4 more straight lines. Just like that. Now we're going to make some curves. Find your large plate and you will trace around it on one side, half of it, and you'll cut that half out. When you're done cutting half, you are going to cut about an inch in to make what looks like a rainbow. And then you can trace that, because we need to, trace it on the other part of the cardboard and cut it out. And voila! You have two curves which make a circle. Next, you're going to do two smaller curves. So you're going to trace half of a bowl 2 times. And then you can draw some lines. This might make it a little easier to cut inside of your rainbow. And then you will cut again on those lines. So then you have 2 small curves to make a circle.
Now that we have our big lines, our big curves, and our little curves, we are going to start making our letters. We are going to start with the letter A. We have 2 long lines and 1 little line. So we're going to start at the top. Top, slide down to the bottom. Top, slide down to the bottom. And then we're going to get a little line and cross it in the middle. Letter B. 1 big line and then 2 small curves. Top to the middle, middle to the bottom. Letter C. 1 big curve. Top to the bottom. Letter D. Tall line, top to bottom, big curve. Letter E. 1 tall line, top to the bottom, then 3 little lines, top across, middle across, bottom across. Letter F. 1 big line, top to the bottom, and then 2 small lines, top across, middle across. Letter G. Big curve, top to bottom, little line up, little line across the middle. H. We need 2 big lines, top to bottom, and then cross it in the middle with a little line. Letter I. Tall line, top to bottom, small line, top across, bottom across. Letter J. Start with a big line to the bottom, put a curve on it, then give it a little line on top. Letter K. Big line, top to bottom, and we're going to kick up, little line to the top, middle to the bottom. Letter L. Big line, top to bottom, little line, bottom across. Letter M. We need 4 big lines, top to bottom, top slide down, climb up, straight down to the bottom. Letter N. 3 big lines, top to bottom, top slide down, bottom straight up. Letter O. We need 2 big curves, top to the bottom, bottom back up to the top. Letter P. Big line, top to the bottom, little curve, top to the middle. Letter Q. We're going to use 2 big curves to make our circle, and then a little line in the middle, slide out to the bottom. Letter R. Big line, top to the bottom, little curve, top to the middle, little line, slide down to the bottom. Letter S. We need 2 small curves. Curve top to the middle, and then we're going to curve backwards, middle to the bottom. Letter T. Big line, top to the bottom, little line, top across. Letter U. Big line, top to the bottom, small curve, big line, back up to the top. Letter V. 2 big lines. Top, slide down to the bottom, bottom, climb up to the top. Letter W. 4 big lines. Top, slide to the bottom, bottom, climb to the top, top, slide to the bottom, bottom, climb to the top. Letter X. 2 big lines, top, slide to the bottom, move over, top, slide to the bottom. Letter Y. We're going to start at the top with a little line, slide to the middle, then top, all the way to the bottom with a big line. We can also do it this way for the letter Y. We can use 3 little lines, top to the middle, middle climb up, middle straight down. And finally, letter Z. Small line, top across, big line, top slide down, little line, bottom across. Thank you for learning about letters with me today. Let's see what Ms. Maslowski is going to do with her dots.
Thank you, Mrs. Burdett. That was a lot of fun. My name is Ms. Maslowski, and today I'm going to show you how to do a fun art project, just like in our story. Are you ready to have some creative fun with me? That's great. Let's get started. Now, you are going to need some supplies for our project. You're going to need some paper, and I have watercolor paper. You could either use watercolor paper, you could use white typing paper, white construction paper, whatever you have available. You're going to need a paintbrush, pencil, some watercolor paints, crayons, water, paper towel, just in case we have an accident, and different size circles. So I have some bowls, some plates, and some cups that I could trace on my paper. So to begin our project, we need to get out one piece of paper. Using my pencil and my different circles, I'm going to trace different circles all over my paper. Now I want to overlap some of the circles. I could have them go off the paper, however you want. It's your art project, so you decide. I have a bunch of different circles on my paper. The next thing you want to do is get out a black crayon. Now the reason we're using a crayon and not marker is because when we use watercolor paints, the water will not make the crayon run. Now you're going to just trace the circles that you made on your paper with your crayon. Now when you trace them, I would make that black line a little bit wider or thicker so it really stands out. And you're going to do that with all of the circles you made. Done tracing all your circles with the black crayon, take a look at it. Do you think it needs another circle somewhere? Once you start painting, you're not going to be able to add another circle with the black crayon because your paper will be wet. So I'm going to take a look at mine. And I think I'm going to add another circle over here. And I think I'm going to add one also at the top of my paper, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Get my black crayon and trace those 2 circles that I just made. I'm going to look at mine again, and I think it's perfect. What do you think? Now we need to get ready to paint, and it's up to you what colors you want to use. Now, when we're using watercolor paints, the first thing that we need to do is add water to the paint. Because if I use my paintbrush and dip it into the paint now, it's not going to work. So I'm going to get some water and drip it onto the colors I want to use. So I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I'm not going to use the black because the outside of my circles are already black. So I'm using that color. I'm going to move my paint aside, get my paintbrush, and we're going to start painting. Now when I paint, I want to do all the different sections that I've created different colors, just to make it look really cool. It's up to you though how you want to do yours. If you want to do it all one color, you can. If you only want to use 2 colors, that's perfect too. It's your project, so you do it however you think is the best. So I'm going to dip my paintbrush in the water, dip it in my paint, and I'm going to start painting.
I'm going to continue with my red paint and find another spot for it.
Doesn't that look great? How colorful it is. Now, I can't hold the paper up yet because it is still wet. But a fun thing that you can do while your paper is still wet, rip up a little piece of your paper towel and scrunch it up. And you can use it to make designs on the colors that are still wet. So on my blue, I have polka dots. It just absorbs some of the paint that you put on your paper already. Get another piece or a different color. And in my green, I made some lines. See how that works? Did you have fun painting with me today? I think our project looks great. What do you think? I hope you had a great time painting with me today. I sure had a lot of fun being creative. I can't wait to see some of your paintings. Now, I wonder what Mrs. Duplessis has in store for you. I bet you it's a lot of fun. See you next time.
Thank you, Mrs. Maslonsky. And hello, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me again today. Today we are going to work on some phonics skills of letter sounds and also blending those sounds together to make CVC words. Remember the dot from our story? That is a CVC word, or a consonant, vowel, consonant word. Let's see if we can sound out and blend some CVC words today. First, say the sound of each letter, and then put them all together to make a word. Let's try some together. Here we go. D, A, T, dot, dot. A, T, pot, pot. K, A, T, cot, cot. K, A, T, cat, cat. K, T, cut, cut. B, cub, cub. K, p, cup, cup. Excellent job sounding out and blending together those sounds to make CVC words. Here are a few more ideas of ways you can practice at home. You can make a game for practice with things in your house. Ask a grown-up to help you collect objects in your house that follow the consonant-vowel-consonant pattern. Next, you will need some paper, a marker, and some scissors. You may also ask a grown-up to help you do this part. With the paper and scissors, you're going to cut it into sections. Try to make them as even as possible. You might even have some index cards or note cards at your house you can use for this. You will have the grown-up write the words on each card that match the objects you found in your house. You are ready to play your CVC object to word matching game. Another fun way to practice is with pink sponge rollers. You will need a package of pink sponge rollers. You will then take the pink sponge part off and cut it about 1/3 on one side and 2/3 on the other side. Enough to fit one letter and then two letters, as seen here. Next, on the small portion of the sponge, you will write consonant letters. On the larger sponge, you will write the rhyme of a word. For example, you see in this picture, I have at. You may choose other rhymes as well. Ip, ugh, op. You get the point. And now you're ready to practice. Just spin the sponge and read each CVC word or CVC nonsense word to practice your blending. Well, la-ti-dot. You did a great job learning today. Thanks for practicing your sounds and for blending and practicing reading CVC words. Keep reading at home, and let's go see what Miss Anderson has for us today. Bye.
Thanks, Ms. Duplessis. I'm Mrs. Anderson, physical education teacher at Douglas MacArthur Girls Leadership Academy, and today we're going to be moving with the dots. Our first activity today, we are going to collect some spots. So I'm going to place these spots. We have, what is it? Yellow. What color is this one?
Blue.
Blue.
Red.
Red. And green. So we're gonna place these spots inside the center hoop. I'm gonna place all of these dots here inside the yellow dots.
But what's the instruction?
Rory and Cordelia, they're gonna try to collect as many dots as they can by rolling their ball into the center hoop. They're gonna be standing with at least 1 foot inside his hoop, and he's gonna do an underhand roll. So Rory's gonna roll the ball with his right hand. He has his left foot in front. He's gonna try to roll the ball into the yellow hoop. If he makes it in, he gets to choose one spot. Bring it back to his green, collect his ball, and try it again. He's right-handed. She has the ball in her right hand. She puts her left foot in front. She's gonna roll that ball, and they're gonna collect until all the spots are gone. On your mark, get set, go! All right, so Cordelia, hers didn't go in, so Rory's gonna choose one spot. Hurry, quick, Cordelia comes back. Rory, pick a spot, and take your ball. Cordelia, go ahead and roll it again. You want to collect as many as you can. Oh, all right. Come on, Rory. Collect a spot, and a dot, and your ball. And roll it again. Oh, a little bit wide to the left. Come on, Cordelia, roll that ball. Oh, not enough power. Too much power. I'm going to give you that one, Cordelia. Choose a dot. 1. Oh, there's 3 left. Oh, there's 2 left. Good job. All right, who's getting the last dot? No, Rory's got the last dot. How many dots do you have?
He's definitely got more than me. I don't know.
Oh, how many dots do you have, Roar?
I have 2 green, 3 blue, 4 yellow. How much does that make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 dots. Hey, Roar, what color do you have the most of?
That would be the yellow.
That would be the yellow. And how many more yellow do you have than blue?
1.
1. That is correct.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So what color do you have the most of?
Red.
Red. That is correct. Good job. All right. So we're going to change up the game just a little bit. On each spot, we have a point value. Some might be worth 3, some might be worth 4, maybe 2, or maybe 1. They're going to roll the ball. They're going to collect as many as they can. So it's a race to collect as many as you can. So the faster that they roll and the faster that they move, the more opportunities they have to collect more dots. On your mark, get set, go! All the dots are gone now. Let's see how many points Rory has. Can you count up all of your points?
Okay, so 1 gets me to 1, 2 gets me to 2. Ooh, I got double 2, so and then 3, which is 7. Not really. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4, 8. 1, 2, wait, 4, no, 8, 9, 10. 10.
Good job.
How
10
much
points.
does Rory have?
8. How many more points did you have?
2 more.
2 more.
Today we found all this equipment in our garage and in our house. So we are going to make an obstacle course. Ready? Jump over the bats on the teeter-totter. Toss 6 beanbags into hoops. Toss a ball into the hoop. Blow up a balloon while stepping on pads. Let the balloon go. Toss the ball up into the air 2 times. Kick the ball into the hoop. Zigzag around the cones. Jump rope 5 times. Toss the ball into the hoop. Hope you had fun today. We did too.
Let's see what activities Miss Dunlap has.
We see you next week.
Thank you so much. I really could use an extra dot today, especially with my math. I'm Miss Dunlap from Bureau Dual Language Academy, and we're going to be using 10 frames today. We're going to go ahead and look for the missing partner or add-in in an equation using our 10 frame. But because school is starting soon, I'm going to show you how you can organize your math information using a 10 frame or the basic structure of a 10 frame when you're identifying numbers, solving equations, or working with 2 and 3-digit numbers. All you need is some paper, pencil, and 2 different colored crayons. This is a 10 frame. We have 5 circles or dots on the top row and 5 circles or dots on the second row. Let's count with our fingers to make sure that we have 10 in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our first step is to be able to identify what a number looks like in a 10 frame. This is what the number 10 looks like. Do you know what the other numbers look like? There's number 1. There's number 2. I see 3. There's 4. The number 5. 5 in a row and 1 below is 6. 5 in a row and 2 below is 7. 5 in a row and 3 below is 8. 5 in a row and 4 below is 9. 5 in a row and 5 below is 10. Using a 10 frame to identify numbers was fun, wasn't it? Make sure you practice. Let's go ahead and look at mine. Let's count with our fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counting with our fingers is a great place to start, but it's a lot quicker to identify that 5 in a row and 2 below is 7. So go ahead and work towards that goal. Another skill you could practice using 10 frames are teen numbers. I know that this is the number 10, 5 in a row and 5 below. It's a full 10 frame. I don't need to count with my fingers. I look at this and that's the number 10. I can use a second 10 frame and count on 10, 11, 12, 13. Counting on from 10 is a lot quicker than counting each and every one of these with my fingers. So go ahead and practice that skill as well. You can even count by tens. Do you want to see? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. It's time to start solving some equations using our 10 frames. On a piece of paper, I want you to write this equation. 7 plus the missing partner or add-in equals 10. Draw a box for your missing partner or add-in. And go ahead and have your 2 different colored crayons ready so that you can draw your circles and dots.
Using your first colored crayon, draw 7 circles because that's the partner we know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to the second row, 6, 7. Now we have a couple of spaces left to make a 10. That's our missing partner or add-in. Fill in those spaces with your second colored crayon. Now let's look. How many circles did you draw? 1, 2, 3. What was your missing partner or add-in? 3. 7 plus 3 equals 10.
Great job! Let's do another. Here's your next equation. 2 plus the missing partner or add-in equals 10.
Using my first crayon, I'm going to draw 2 circles because that is the partner I know. 1, 2. Well, look at all of the extra spaces I have left over. I'm going to go ahead with my second crayon and fill in all of those spaces until all 10 spaces are filled in my 10 frame. I started out with 2 circles. How many more did I need to make 10? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is my missing partner or add-in? 8. I needed 8.
You guys aren't just mathematicians, you're mathemagicians. Great job! Okay, here's our final equation. 4 plus the missing add-in equals 10. I want you to copy the equation. Now you're going to show me what you know, and then we'll check our answer. Well, we know one partner. Get that crayon out. We need to make a 10. What are we going to do with the other crayon?
We know our first partner or add-in is the number 4. So we're going to draw 4 circles with our first colored crayon. Yours should look just like mine. Now we're going to take our second crayon and fill in the rest of the circles to make a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We drew 6 circles. What is our missing partner or add-in? 6.
Today we use pencil, paper, and crayons. What else can you use at home to practice using 10 frames? So math is like a video game. Once you master one level, you unlock a brand new level with new strategies and new learning tools. In 2nd grade, we're solving equations and word problems using multi-digit numbers with base 10s, like this: hundreds, tens, and ones. It's a lot more information to organize, but we've already learned how to organize that information using a 10 frame.
This number is represented using hundreds, tens, and ones. Notice how it's neatly organized using a 10 frame format or structure so that we can visually see that this is 300 plus 80 plus 9, or 389, without having to count every single little cube. Let's look at when we add multi-digit numbers. Look how we organize this in a 10-frame structure or format. So when we look at the number 42, that is represented using 4 10s and 2 1s, or 40 plus 2. The number 37 is represented using 3 10s and 7 1s. Look how we organize the ones like a 10 frame. So we know that is 30 plus 7.
When we work with larger numbers, it's so important to organize all of our information in a neat format, such as the 10-frame structure. It's okay if you don't have these manipulatives at home. You could just go ahead and draw, just like I did, the lines as your 10 sticks. I just drew circles for my 1s, just like that. I'm so proud of you guys. You did an amazing job today. I had the best spring and summer learning with you. Your teachers are going to be so excited to see all that you've learned this summer. I'm so proud of you.
I hope you had a great time being creative with us today.
Remember to keep trying and believe in yourself.
Just make a dot and see where it takes you.
Anything is possible.
Dot, dot for now.